My mother, my stepmother, she had a kettle that she heated up on the stove, boiled. It was, she picked it up, but she has carpal tunnel, so her fingers let go and dropped it, and it fell on the ground. The middle part of the kettle lid wasn't on all the way, and so it popped off, and all the hot boiling water went all over her stomach and up to her face and her eyes. And she told my dad, call Leanne. And I'm like, I'm not 911, but okay. So they called me, and I went over. She was living in a camper at the time, and the first thing I did was what? What do you think my first thing was? I said, did anyone pray yet? Because I'm not big enough to fix this situation. You're not big enough to fix this situation, and we're all anxious because you have a serious emergency right now. And so we prayed, and I said, God, what do I do next? So anyway, I ended up at her bedside for 6 hours cooling her with towels. But she ended up wanting to go into shock because normally we put an IV in them right away. Well, I didn't have an IV, so I just had her chug water and, put blankets on her and put her legs up, and she recovered from that. But 6 hours I was putting cooling compresses on her, and then I said, God, now what? And I didn't know what to do next for a burn, like maybe aloe, maybe lavender, but this is a huge burn, like this should have went to a burn unit. And anyway, the Lord spoke to me directly, like, grate up a potato. So that's what I used that day, was I grated up a potato and put it all over her wound.
That's excellent.
And it was, because it's moist, it kept the wound moist, it kept it cool, it's anti-inflammatory. And so we put that on there, and I said, you're probably going to wake up tomorrow with a lot of pain. And I called her in the morning, and she says, oh no, I'm making breakfast, I'm fine. She was in absolutely no pain whatsoever. And that's a miracle of God. So I would say use what you have, but first of all you have to cool, and then put potato or charcoal or something on the wound after it's cooled. And just keep doing it. We had to do this. It's an open wound, so you just keep putting up.
When you have burns, we have to be very careful the water isn't too cool.
Yeah.
You need to start with tepid water.
Yes.
A warm, cool.
Yes.
And get it down slowly, otherwise it'll cause more pain.
That's right. Yes. Definitely. Anytime you have something severe temperatures, you don't want to quickly switch them to another temperature.
Okay, we're going to change gears, and we're going to do a hot foot bath. What would be the two main ingredients for a hot foot bath?
Water and a foot.
Water in your feet. Water in a foot.
Water in a foot. Okay, so we got some water ongoing here, Leanne.
Okay.
We just need a towel to dry off the feet.
Okay.
If you don't volunteer, I'm gonna ask you to come up. So, okay, you're volunteering. Come on up. What on earth would you use a hot foot bath for? Go ahead and sit down. What's your name?
Holly.
Miss, can you get me a cup?
Holly Ann?
This cup with some water in it, and a straw.
Thank you, Holly, for volunteering,
cup,
because
water, and a straw.
pay attention. You're going to do this on somebody else. Okay?
Yeah, see, you don't need many supplies, but
Leanne is going to walk you through this.
Okay.
So she's going to tell you what she wants to do. Leanne, we have some water. It's already warm in the white bucket.
Okay, yeah.
We're just making sure this is not as warm as we probably would do in a house.
Okay.
But you'll get the idea. Okay, that's the idea.
So can we say the reasons, like why we would do a hot foot bath?
Why would you give a hot foot bath? What might be one application? Well, why don't you put your head in the hot water?
What happened?
Oh, I have
Ingrown
fungus.
or no? A fungus.
Why would you give somebody with a headache a hot foot bath?
Okay.
Oh, let's start with what you said. You said for a headache.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Why would you treat a headache with a hot foot bath? What? Did you hear that?
Oh, yes, I see.
She said that by putting the feet in the hot water, it'll draw blood from the head down to where?
Does it hurt right now?
Do we normally have too much?
Put a potato on it.
Do we normally have too much blood in the head, or why were we doing this?
Okay,
so you can imagine this does not expand. The cranium does not. It's a closed structure, and if you have 1 tablespoon extra blood in your head, congestion, could that trigger a headache? It could. And so by putting your feet in the hot water, what is that going to do to your feet?
I just did it.
What's going to
So
happen
it's
to
that
the
little
blood
black
vessels in
thing
your
right there, You
feet?
just click it out.
They're going to dilate,
Do you want to
right?
put more water in
So
in
that
bowl?
creates almost like a suction to pull blood from your extremities,
Okay, so-
including your head, down to where?
It's
Yeah,
warm.
it
It's
did.
not,
And that might
it's
pull
not hot,
enough
but it's
blood
warm.
away from your head to
You wanna go this way?
diffuse a headache. It works. The first time I saw this work, we had just come to Puerto Rico, and somebody contacted us. They heard that we were medical missionaries or something.
Yeah.
And we went to the house. It was an older couple. We were just a young couple. And now we've had all this training with all these doctors and everything, and now we're on our own in a strange country. And the people said, this man here has not slept for a month. And he looked like he had not slept for a month. They tried everything to put this man to sleep, not permanently, but to get him to sleep. And he was just beside himself. You get into that position where you just can't sleep anymore. You just try. You want to sleep, but you can't. And I'm thinking, Lord, what are we going to do with this? I haven't the vaguest idea how we're going to treat this. And it popped into my head, a hot foot bath. Is that warm?
It's warm. Yeah. Feels good.
This is the truth. I said to the woman of the house, can you get us some hot water?
This is
I did exactly this. I took the man into the bedroom. I had him lay back on the bed, his feet off the side of the bed. That's all I did. But we turned around to have a prayer together. Before we finished praying, he was snoring.
Wow.
Now, obviously, there's a lot happening there, right? I don't know how much of it was prayer and how much of it was warm water or
How you doing?
exhaustion.
Yeah.
But he
So
went to
the other
sleep when
thing
he
is,
had,
let me
everybody,
grab-
he'd
let me grab
already
my-
tried his options. Yes, doctor.
How warm do you make it?
How long would you have somebody in that warm?
How warm?
How warm?
Yeah.
Okay, how warm would you make it? You don't have to burn them.
Make it comfortably.
It's usually 104, but that's if they can't tolerate that, then you need to go down. And if they're diabetic, you cannot. So they can use warm water that they.
What if you
can
don't
feel
have a
this-
thermometer? What are you going to use?
You're using elbows and hands, but they need to tell you that it's comfortable for
Right.
them.
So if it doesn't burn your elbow, your hand, it's probably okay.
So how long do you leave it?
It's not wrong sheet.
That guy went to sleep. We walked out. I don't know how long they did for that one, but it's not. That's not generally what you'd use it for. But in one program, we asked for a volunteer to come up, like you came up, and we'd asked, does anybody have a headache here? And one young woman said, yes, I have a splitting migraine.
So this is the other
And
thing.
so she came up, and I said,
Yeah.
could we have somebody up here that would come up and act like the caregiver? And so this very old lady stood up and walked up and knelt down, and it was a place like this, and it was just packed with people. And that room became dead quiet instantly, and I thought, what's going on here? Something's happening here. I didn't know either one of these women.
So then this needs
And
to go.
the older woman
So I need this. To,
kneeled down,
So you're gonna be
yeah. So it needs to
poured water in,
tent. Yep.
prayed for the young woman,
So I just need to cover,
and
keep the heat
we
in.
continued on, and about 10 minutes later the young woman said, my headache is gone.
And then I'm gonna do this.
You know
So
who
have
the old woman
water.
was? Her mother. Everybody knew that was her mother.
Yeah.
And here's the older mother
Yes.
treating her grown-up daughter for a headache. Talk about touching. That was extremely touching, yes.
I was told years ago in physical therapy school that whatever the temperature hot was, if the cold was 20 degrees cooler, the
Cool.
body's going
It's,
to
it's
react.
plenty good enough, right?
Okay, so then it really doesn't matter how hot the water is, as long as you have cold, and it doesn't have to be ice that is 20 degrees cooler.
Tell my wife that.
That's-
She likes ice cubes.
Asking
She like ice forming on the top of the water.
And so if you know you're using ice, if you got 60-degree water, it's going to have the contrast.
So
If the body though wants 80-degree water to be warm,
Let's
that's
do that.
better than 60.
So here George, the heat is dilating. Why would you then pour cold water over the feet? Oh, this has gone much farther than a warm foot bath.
It's okay.
This is turning into a sauna.
the bugs.
Yes. So, well, you use it. I mean, like if the person was having like any type of viral symptoms, sore throat or anything like that, you can use it for that. Even if a person has a fever, you use this hot foot bath. It can recirculate blood. But you can use the sheet to wrap it to keep the heat in the person, and then you don't want ever for the person to get chilled. So some of the supplies are just a sheet, the bucket, the feet, the towel, and then you want to make sure that they're staying hydrated, that they have their water nearby them. And when she's warm, if she was really too warm, then we can get a washcloth that was in ice water, and you just put it over the head.
So we're started off with a simple, and that's a hot foot bath. It worked for that person who could not sleep. It worked for a person who had a headache. What else could you use it? Now your patient is going to start getting heated up, and you're turning this into a fever treatment for the whole body, and the body temperature is going to increase. What you might use that for? Any ideas, suggestions? Can't be right or wrong.
Give it to him.
What would be something you
Holly,
use
can I
that
take
for?
our picture? I'm gonna take our picture.
Okay, inflammation. Now the whole body is starting to heat up. Now you're not just working with a localized fever site down the feet. Now you're talking about the whole body. And the person is running 101 temperature already, and you're giving them a hot foot bath. Why on earth would you think of doing that? Any suggestions? Yes.
Does it help to sweat out?
Oh, maybe they're in that box.
Well, what you'll often see if somebody starts running a flu fever, it just kind of rocks back and forth. It never, it never really peaks.
Yeah.
And is a fever a good thing or a bad thing?
It's your friend.
What? It's a good thing? Not too high. Okay. So a fever can be a good. What's happening when you have a fever? And that's what she's getting right now is a fever treatment. We're trying to raise her temperature 102, she's already got 102. Yeah. We'd like it to go to 104. Why are we doing this?
We want the body to fight.
We want to antagonize the body.
Right?
Come on, fight.
Yeah, like.
You want to fight? Let's fight. And you're antagonizing the body, and it wants to respond. How's it going to respond?
Increase the white blood cells.
And white blood cells.
That's one of the things. What's the first thing as your body temperature goes up, what is one of the other physiological responses?
Capillaries. That's what I was saying. Opens all your capillaries.
Your breathing starts to why? Because your heart is pumping a little faster, right? So your heart's pumping a little faster. Your breathing goes up. What's in the air that you're breathing? Oxygen, and the life is where? In the blood. Perfect health depends upon perfect circulation. So the fever is stimulating the breathing. The heart is now pumping that more oxygen-rich blood throughout the body. Then your body wants to fight off that fever, and so it throws the blood out to the skin.
So then
because your skin is it's a radiator, right? The skin radiates heat off.
So then
now there happens to be some white blood cells out in the skin that don't migrate around. What are they called? Macrophage, right? So they're out there. They're not ones that travel about. So here is this oxygen-rich blood carrying out to the skin and milking it over these fixed macrophage. Now your defense system is really kicked in.
Better than it was, eh?
And are you getting warmer yet?
So I added more water. Tell them they have to monitor it.
The water's going to cool off, and you're going to add some more water as the treatment goes along. This could go on. You asked how long this could go on. This is a modified hot foot bath, and it's turned now into a steam treatment.
Yeah.
Or a sauna.
Yeah, you don't necessarily need the sheet, but you can use the sheet too. But you definitely want them to have a blanket on. If they're like a sick person, if that's the reason why you're treating them, I would definitely have a blanket or something on them.
Yeah, they're down to their skivvies at least when you do this treatment. So you're doing it in a home's private setting, no drafts. Okay, all the windows, doors are closed, so there's no draft of air. You don't want that person to get chilled.
Yeah. So I also had one more quick story about a hot foot bath that I was amazed by. So I was an ER nurse, and then I started working at Wildwood Lifestyle Center in Georgia, and there was a patient that came in for a lifestyle change, and they took him off all the medications, and it was a big adjustment, and the body is working out a lot then, so the vital signs were just crazy. He was like a blood pressure of 200 over 100 and something. I said, this is a stroke outpatient. Like, what? I don't have a crash cart here. And I'm looking for medicines because I came from the ER. So I said, and there's no doctor on site. So I called the doctor, Dr. Grievous, if anyone knows him.
Oh, yeah.
I called Dr. Grievous. I said, your patient looks like this. So what do you want me to do about that? And he was like, he's very calm.
Yeah.
This is my introduction, and I just love it. Like, this is how we need to be in emergencies, because it's not going to help us to be all worked up either. And he says, well, I want you to pray with them to start. I want you to pray with them. And then I want you to go grab a hot foot bath and put him in that, and put, like a heating pack to his kidneys. And then I want you to go in the kitchen, mix up a drink with garlic and lemon and water and maybe just a little bit of stevia or honey. And I was like, okay. And he's like, and check him every 15 minutes, but make sure you pray with him again. I was like, okay. So I did all that, and literally I started the hot foot bath and all that first, and then mix up the drink. But just the hot foot bath alone was already decreasing his blood pressure by like 10 points. It's seriously is a great treatment. I think I try to tell my patients, you don't have to run. If you have a lot of other symptoms going on with a high blood pressure number, then go in, because you don't know what to do for yourself if you don't know. But if you just have a high blood pressure at home, it's like 170 over something, and you're not feeling like you're going to pass out, or there's not any other symptoms, then do a hot foot bath. You know, see what that does, and pray. Ask the Lord to bless. And so it's an easy thing, even just for that, for high blood pressure. All right, you done?
Okay, you are now prepared to teach somebody else. Who has a splitting headache? If you don't volunteer, I'm going to invite you up. So.
No. Oh, I gotta teach you.
Okay, you laugh first. Come on.
Yeah.
Actually, I was looking at Jack, but come on up here. He laughed first.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Spare breathing.
So, it's a square, right?
Come on up.
Breathe in.
Yeah.
Now feel the stomach go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold your breath. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Oh.
You feel okay doing one for him?
Sure.
Okay.
Okay, so you can.
And then I say, exhale. through
Dr.
your
David.
lips. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I'll say breathe in. 1, 2, 3. When we do it again, we do it 3 times, and it disconnects this. Watch the BP drop all the way 10 points.
Poultice.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
Depends on the person. If somebody feels a little bit averse to one, coax them into the other.
Okay.
I mean,
Okay. Yeah. Wow.
it depends. In that setting, for the foot, you mean? Yeah. If you could do it
Yeah, so we
before
can
you went
just
to
move
bed,
that
make sure
one.
you
I'll
pull
get a
some
different
big
hand
socks
towel,
over it.
and
Put
here's a clean
piece of
bucket.
plastic. Use a Walmart, Safeway plastic bag. They always work better than Walmart. I've tried this. And I'm kidding. Any plastic bag will work. So you put the poultice on your foot, pull the plastic bag over that in a sock, and that will keep it moist all night long.
So this will be to dry your feet off after.
And then in the morning, just throw it away. But, you know, the plastic is just there to hold the moisture in, that's all. The other flip to this would be a hot foot bath or a warm foot bath with charcoal powder in it. And we have some
Yeah, it's-
amazing
you know,
stories on that
if
one.
it doesn't
So yeah,
reach,
and
can
you
go
could do that
kind of
just
over
before
it.
you went to bed,
Yep.
and then put some socks on after your warm foot bath with charcoal and go to
We
bed.
don't have to, but it was nice probably, was it?
Oh, yeah.
Any other questions? Yes.
Yes. I see your jars that one says topical first aid, the other one says detox.
Okay, what's the difference? Is that
All of them are charcoal.
Yeah.
What makes them different ones from the others?
Okay, our business is charcoal. We sell charcoal all over the world. We deal with manufacturers, like I said, the military. Each one of those industries or commerce or agencies require specific qualities in the charcoal because, you know, they make what I refer to as designer charcoals. They zero in on one molecule, on one chemical. They can design these charcoals where they will only take out one chemical. That's it. So there are hundreds and hundreds of these charcoals commercially, but they've also found that their starting material makes a difference in how that will absorb what they want to get rid of. So they've done a lot of experimentation, and it's made out of. We showed you this peat moss. What else? Coconut, hardwood. These oak trees here. If they're ever cut down, they'll go to a furniture factory. The sawdust would be made into this charcoal right here. So this charcoal comes from these oaks around us, and of course we don't grow coconut here. We don't grow bamboo as well. There's subtle differences industrially. We've repackaged these products. We get them in 1,000-pound sacks and repackage it. My wife orders it in truckloads, and we repackage it for certain applications. And we have found that certain charcoals seem to work better for certain applications, and this one is less expensive than the blue one. That one it comes from Sri Lanka, it's processed in France, and then it's shipped to us, and it's USB grade, and that's what we sell into the hospital. I'm not going to tell you it works better than this, but it's more expensive. So if it's more expensive, it's got to work better, right? Isn't that how it works? Anyway, so to answer your question, there are differences and there are reasons for those differences industrially, commercially. But when it comes to ingestion, I would not use coal-based activated carbons. A lot of Chinese activated charcoal is laced with coal-based charcoals. That's why we have customers in China that buy our capsules because they know they're pure. They've not been compromised. Anyway, but if I was in an emergency and this is all I had, I'd drink this. Without a heartbeat, I'd drink this. That's just smoother and it works better. Faster. Oh, you're ready. You're already done it?
He's done now.
It's done. We've cooled him down. Hold on a second.
Yeah, we cooled him down.
What are you putting on his head?
We're putting on, this is after we've cooled him down. He's hydrated a little bit. We're going to keep
A cool compress.
Cool compress here.
Okay, so
Keep an eye on his temperature. What are we looking for the temperature to drop to? Like 100 if he's over 100?
That's actually not what you're looking for. Whatever you were treating, if it was a headache, sickness, blood
like a
pressure,
migraine.
you're looking for the result that you want.
Okay.
That something changed.
but we started off by saying this guy had
What do you have?
102
Oh,
102
I see.
temperature.
So she's looking for that. Okay.
So even if it stays there, you've accomplished something, but it should come down because you're trying to boot it over that little hump. So if you can make the crisis, you can make that fever peak, then he's going to slide down the other.
Thermostat, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
He'll slide down the other side and he'll break the fever. That